Well, hello, my beautiful, wealthy women. I have a magnificent interview success story to share with you today. In fact, it may benefit you directly, it may benefit someone you know, or someone you might know. It all has to do with babies and how much do we love babies, but we also love sleep. So, this interview is going to be so important for all of you new moms out there or soon to be new moms that want to sort of get ahead of that situation where sleep deprivation can be a problem. And we know that you want to show up and be the best that you can be in all areas of your life. And we all know the benefits of sleep, whether we have children or not, right? So I want to share this beautiful woman and her mission to help moms get rest so that they can be the best that they can be for their children, for their businesses, for their family, for themselves. And this is such an important topic because we're always creating our goals of how to expand our business, gain new clients, build our list, lose 10 pounds, whatever it might be. We have all these goals. And sometimes we think, sleep, yeah, I'll get to it when I can. I'll put it a little bit on the back burner. But the thing is, this is such a foundational piece to health and how you show up in every area of your life. That's why I'm so excited about this conversation. So, you will benefit from listening to all of the beautiful things that we're about to learn. And also, please, I'm sure many of you have family members or friends that are going to be getting pregnant at some point or are ready to give birth or have newborns. So please pass this interview over to them because this can be really something so beneficial that'll help that beautiful time in their life to become even better than it already is. So without further ado, I'm going to pass over the mic and camera, and please tell us all about who you are. Why did you create this beautiful mission that is helping to serve so many beautiful women out there? And I can't wait to hear all about it.
Hi everyone. My name is Shani Avidar. I'm a certified pediatric sleep coach and lactation specialist, but my passion is sleep, and I'm the founder of My Little Dreamer. My website is mylittledreamer.coach. Before I became a sleep coach, I spent almost 20 years in the financial industry, and I'm sure all of us have our visions of what we're going to be as parents, what our parenting journey is going to look like. And I had mine. And when I was pregnant with my first child, I got so much prenatal education, but no one talked to me about sleep. And once I became a parent, I was so overwhelmed and so exhausted that I started researching infant sleep. And I gained some tools that helped me get my child to sleep. And I was so passionate about it that I started researching more and more. If you don't know, the sleep industry is a non-regulated one. So that means that basically anyone could claim that they are sleep trainers. And coming from the financial industry that is heavily regulated, I wanted to become certified, and I started looking into the different sleep training methods out there, and I came across the baby-led sleep approach. That basically that's a holistic sleep training methods that talk about the bond between parents and their children, and that there is a lot into sleep that just letting them cry it out, because I don't support cry it out. I don't think it really teaches your child anything, but that you're not coming. So the baby-led sleep approach talks about routines and structure and consistency, but also nutrition is a big part of sleep. And there's a lot of psychological tools that we can use to teach your baby the skill of sleep, because at the end of the day, sleep is a skill. And you are responsible as the parent to teach your child how to sleep. I have three little boys, and they are one year apart each. So that means I was literally pregnant for 3 years. And not only did I want them to sleep, but I needed them to sleep. So I started coaching moms and I was so passionate about it. So I decided to start my own company parallel to banking up until 2 years ago when I decided that sleep is my passion and I'd like to educate as many parents as possible. And I left the financial industry to just focus on my business. And that's what I do now. I just coach parents, one-on-one sessions. I create personalized sleep plans. And I feel like lack of education is what causing moms to be sleep deprived and anxious and overwhelmed. And the more you know, like the phrase, knowledge is power. So the more you know, the better sleep you get, but also the better parent you are.
It's so true what you're saying. You know, even at the infant stage, routines are and strategies are just learned from just from the beginning. And so if you what you're doing that I love so much is you're creating the proper foundation for successful sleep that infant will learn and take with them as they gain, age and grow older. And it's a benefit for them, obviously, because sleep is the most healthful way of growth, right? Healthy growth in all ways, sleep and nutrition, obviously. And the fact that you are helping that child or children to have a great start with their brand new, beautiful existence and lives going forward and creating that, foundational piece. And I think you're so right, that awareness is everything because there is no manual, so to speak. And a lot of times parents want to try new things. They think they're doing the best, and maybe they go back and forth with a couple things, and it just creates a little confusion, even in an infant. And that infant, will understand repetitive behaviors. And for all of us, basically in anything in life, the key to success in anything is consistency and repetitive actions that produce results. And that's no different for an infant. And the benefit, of course, is for that parent to be able to get the rest that they need because they have the biggest job in front of them to create this beautiful human, to successfully grow. And so it's such a great program, which you got to share a little bit about your program because it's such a great program that not only benefits the child, which is so beautiful to give that brand new child such a healthy start in the world, but then the parents get to show up in a less stressful, more open, relaxed, enjoyable place, which has a lot of benefits for that child in that regard too, because we read energy and infants are no different, so they can read the stress of a parent. And I'm sure none of the parents here want to show up as stressful, but if you're sleep deprived, sometimes you can't help it. It's sort of like when you're hungry and you get irritated or agitated because you're just very hungry, and that's just a chemical hormonal response. So talk a little bit about your program, and what your clients have been able to transform for their own families, and what anyone who wants to work with you, what they can kind of expect from working with you.
So I have different packages, basically 4 different packages. One is a newborn package that ideally is for any expecting or new mom that wants to educate herself even before the baby arrives, because I think that's very important. After caring for 40 weeks, you're sleep deprived. We all know the third trimester is so uncomfortable. Sleep is not amazing then you want to prepare, like you're nesting, you buying clothes, you also want to educate yourself so you can start teaching your baby healthy sleep habits from day one. Then I have 2 different packages that I created because I saw the type of women that come to me, different personalities. So some would say, I want you for the next 6 months just to have your support in the background because I need it for my mental well-being. And if I have any questions, I need to know you're out there. So I have a package that is with 6 months support. And then I have another one for women that say, okay, give me my personalized sleep plan, and then I need you for 2 weeks, and that's fine. And so I have that package. And then I have a package for parents that just want to sit down with me and ask me anything, whether it's transitioning from a crib to a big boy bed or traveling, whatever they are going through, they just want to sit down with me. And I always start with a 15-minute discovery call because when I onboard a client, I first of all want to tell them about the baby-led sleep approach and what it entails. Second, we live in a world that people are just looking to get instant gratification, and that doesn't happen with sleep. So I want to manage expectations and say, listen, we're going to create a plan. You have to implement what I say. It doesn't happen overnight. And it's your responsibility to actually follow my lead. And then I start with an intake form. I explain that I have a very detailed intake form that asks about your parenting style, your schedules, whether you work from home, whether you go to the office, whether you have help. I want to learn about your daily structure and schedules. I want to learn about your baby, whether you have multiples. I want to live like I live with you at home so I can create a personalized sleep plan. And I ask the parents to fill out two forms. One is a sleep log, and the second is a feeding log. And both are 3 days worth of information because I want to be able to analyze data with regards to feeding and sleep. And then once I get all the information back, I analyze it, I create a personalized sleep plan, and I schedule a coaching session with the parents. And we sit down for an hour and I coach them and I provide the plan. I tell them, don't take any notes. We're recording the session and I'll send it to you. I'll send you a summary. You don't have to memorize anything. It's not a long summary because nobody has time to read nowadays. We're all exhausted, tired, and busy.
Yeah.
And that's how the journey starts. And I'm so happy when I get positive feedback because yes, we want to be able to sleep, but more than that, we want to be able to plan our day and we want to
Function.
know when we can prioritize ourselves because if we don't take care of ourselves, we definitely cannot take care of others. And if you find that you lack patience, if you snap at your kids, at your husband, it means that you don't get some self-care, some me time, and that's a red flag. So I just know I'm a type A personality. I've always needed my workouts, and I know that helps me stay mentally sharp and have patience. And I just, had to create a schedule that I was able to also prioritize myself because we have dads and dads are amazing, but moms, they are the CEO of the company called family.
I
So we
love
have
that.
to be
The
on top of
CEO.
everything.
That's so
Yeah.
fantastic. And it's so true what you're saying. I always tell my clients or anybody that I talk to that taking care of yourself, that self-care, that self-love is how you're going to be able to show up in the world and for everybody in a much better, happier, stronger way. So it is it is important, not selfish, to focus on your own sleep as well. And you can ensure that or have a better chance of ensuring that when you can help your child to get into a routine that works for that child and that family. And it almost seems like, why wouldn't you want to start your brand new, you know, children with something like this for them, for yourself? It just seems so foundational to me. Like, I would never want to miss this. I absolutely believe in what you are doing and how you're helping. And I think it is amazing. So Before we get into the success questions, though, just can you please let everybody know the name of your company again and your website?
My Little Dreamer, and the website is mylittledreamer.coach.
I love that. My little dreamer. That is the sweetest thing. Okay, so now we're going to go into, you know, we are here to inspire women to go for their dreams. We focus mostly on business here, but we know that, when you have one big dream, it usually incorporates other parts of your life, your health, your relationships. So all of these questions, these success questions, can really help elevate women, inspire them. And it's always nice also for them to realize that, along the path to creating dreams, we hit bumps in the road. And we want to let those women out there that maybe are experiencing the bumps in the road that this is so normal and part of the beautiful process, and that growing your own business is one of the most empowering things that you can do. And to please every woman out there that is going for their dreams, give yourself credit for all the things that you do right, and then be inspired by these success stories, because they are meant to let you know that you can do this as well. And I always say that if the dream is in your heart, it's absolutely meant for you. It's just a matter of how you choose for you yourself to do your business, when it will all come to be. But that's part of the beautiful journey, and you should enjoy all of the processes of it. So I love this part. So let's get into the success questions and find out about your journey to your business dream, because like you said, you started out in the financial world and made a huge pivot into something that really resonated with you, that touched you in the heart. You walked the walk, you talked the talk, you experienced it first. You realized you wanted to make it better. You found, there was a problem and you found the solution. And then you're like, I need to share this with others and help them have a better experience. And I love when businesses come from that place, because it's very authentic and it's very passionate, and it's very inspiring. So I love this. So let's get started. Okay. Um, One of my first questions I love to ask is this one. If you could only choose one answer, what is the number one way that building your business has enriched your life and empowered you?
I think, first of all, surround yourself with mentors, because they have seen different industries, different businesses, and then they can guide you if you have questions. And I think all of us have questions and ideas, and just like every day, and you want to do everything and all the time, and time is limited. So, and especially as women, we have many ideas, but we all know the school system is not geared towards parents who work. And if we have kids, then between drop-offs and pickup time, it's not enough time. So we have to stay focused and just take whatever contributes to us at the moment.
Yes, I love that. And why would you encourage other women to go for their dreams and build their businesses? If there was one reason why you want to say, go for it, what would that be?
Fulfillment. I think with anything, if you want, like I said, if you don't take care of yourself, you really cannot take care of others. So if you're not fulfilled and you're not filling your cup, how are you expecting to really like mentor even your kids and to be like an example for them?
That's a great answer. And it's very true. Absolutely. Okay. So, do you believe that you can manifest your desires then? And how do you personally go about doing this? Like, do you have a routine goal setting, a morning mantra? How do you go about manifesting your personal desires?
So first of all, I think I'm a risk taker, and I've always been since birth. I moved countries, I moved states, I changed jobs, but I always follow my gut, and I always know what's right for me. Even though, if you ask others, they might tell you, oh, do the opposite, but it all comes from their experience. And just listen to yourself, to your heart. You know what works best for you. And I love change, but I love routines even more. And I know what fills my cup is my workouts. And I prioritize sleep because I think I thrive on sleep. I need at least 8, 9 hours. And that's just me personally. And I just, in the first year of parenting, I told my husband, we are going to prioritize ourselves this year because we need to sleep. And if that means that we say no to friends, to events, whatever, it's okay. It's
Yeah.
temporary. So just understanding that life is very fluid and just go with the flow, have structures and routines and schedules, but we have hard time sometimes to say, oh, this is constant and this is going to stay. No, this is temporary, and just be able to adapt to change.
Oh, that is a really great answer. And I think that, a lot of entrepreneurs like you, myself, we love that freedom thing. And sometimes we we like and we understand the reasons for structure and routine equals success, consistency, but there's something about it also that feels a little stifling, like it's never gonna, we always have to be this way. And I love what you just said about in the fluidity of it all. Create your structures and routines in the fluidity and know that that will change into something else. And then you create the new structures that make sense for that next chapter, whatever that might be. And I think that's really important because I feel that most of the women that I have spoken to, and myself included, we are definitely going for making a difference, making money. But I think one of the biggest things is that freedom, that time freedom. And we don't like to be cornered where we have no more like choices. So I love what you're saying about this because it takes it, I think it remotivates someone like, oh, okay, then I will stick totally to this routine, but it's not forever. And that makes that feel a little less constrictive. So I love this idea. While we're on the subject, this is off of the success cards, but I think it makes sense because it's such an important subject. I love that you had this conversation with your husband. You said this is a very important time that we get our sleep because we have young ones and we're going to need to show up properly for them. So we are going to say no to certain things so we can prioritize our health. I love that. And I love that you have a husband that you're communicating with in this regard because you're partners in this whole thing. I wanted to ask you, do you have any other tips for the adults, the women, for them to get better night's sleep? What can they do to prepare themselves for a good night's sleep? That, practical, tactical things.
Yeah, so first of all, like most of us, I think are type A personality we're planners. So I try to, for example, I know mornings are chaos because we all need to get our lunch boxes ready, we get dressed, and it's just, so I try to prepare everything the night before, the day before. For example, I put my kids' outfits for the day the night before. I give them vitamins. So I prepare their water bottles with their vitamins before they come back from school so they can have it ready. And then I'm not stressed once they're in the house and I need to give them snacks and prepare the vitamin waters. It's just little things that simplify your day. Just try to do it in advance and throughout the day. Like I said, time is very limited. And sometimes we're stressed. So in the moment, you sometimes don't even think, but create that routine that you say to yourself when you prepare for the next day or for the continuation of the day.
Yeah.
And I also think for me personally, even though I am a good sleeper, I do not watch TV or look at my phone about 30 minutes before, and I just read a book. And that really helps me calm down, not to stimulate my brain a lot. I notice nights that we do go out and, talk to people and my brain is stimulated, I really sleep poorly. And versus nights that I just read a book.
Yeah.
And I am a huge fan of, healthy lifestyle. So if it means nutrition, if it means exercise and sleep, because if you go to any professional, whether it's dermatologist, it's nutritionist, gut health, everything, like they say you need to prioritize sleep because sleep will help you get better skin, get better
Agree.
gut.
Yeah.
So it all comes down to, optimizing your health.
I love this. And just curious, a couple things. Is there any sort of like tea or yogurt or anything you might eat? Or when do you stop eating before bed? Or what's your last snack before bed that might help sleep? And you exercise. What is for you, or what do you suggest is the most optimum time for women to exercise? All with the focus of how do I get the best sleep possible? And these things support that.
So I'm very extreme. So that means it works for me, doesn't work for, most
Everybody.
people. But for me, and I also apply it with my kids, I eat very, very healthy. My kids, they're 2.5, 3.5, and 5. So they're very little and they already know carbs, protein. Our discussion about are like, what protein would you like? And they already know what to say. So I prioritize protein because first of all, it's good for us and it promotes better sleep. Um, as far as snacks, I don't snack. My kids eat healthy snacks. We only cheat on weekends. Um, and for them too. And they understand that they can only ask me for ice cream on Saturday and Sunday. And that starts from, day one. And I'm at the gym at 5 in the morning. That said, that did not look like a year ago when my kids were on a different schedule. So I always, like I said, you have to be
That
fluid. So
fluidity.
I
Yeah.
used to work out when they were napping. Now I need to wake them up to school. So I know at 5 in the morning, I need 2 hours for myself. So I have 2 hours to get ready. Um, and I just maintain a very healthy lifestyle because that has been my life
Yes.
forever.
I
And
love this. Yeah.
I try to educate my kids to do the same.
This is really great tips because I think a lot of us too, we get so lost in our computer and our business, and we're focusing on emails and, oh, I should get back to this person, and our mind doesn't shut off. And the idea of, shutting down the computer or the phones, that's very important because, that blue light can really mess with you. I was just curious. I had read that like Greek yogurt, maybe as a last snack, is a good thing, and tea or here and there. But I also like your idea too, and just about the exercise and these. And I love that you have, the your children paying attention to nutrition, which supports them, and but it's not, nothing, like they get something to look forward to. And I like this idea as well, where there's something to, you do, your nutrition really well, and then you have your snack on the weekend. I think that's great because it also teaches delayed gratification, which is also a very important thing in children too, that's going to show up for them in better ways when they're in school. And they'll learn to be patient with the, results and not getting rewarded immediately. So love everything that you just said. And I think it was important that we kind of deviated a little bit because these are foundations. Our health, without our health, right? There's, what do we got?
Yeah, health is
Right.
number
So
one.
it's number one. So business goals, money goals, relationship goals, those are all nice. But if your health foundation isn't in order, this is a problem. So I like what you have to say about supporting. this foundation to the best that you can, and being fluid with it, and keep, doing it for your own self-care, getting your partner on board, getting your children on board, because the whole goal is to create a beautiful experience as much as you can for your family and for all of them to feel good during it. So this is true success to me. I love this, and it's very important. So okay, what I wanted to ask you on this one. So you were in, the financial world before, and something was saying, it's not for me anymore. Your soul was talking to you. And women go through this, maybe even more than once. So do you have any recommendations for a woman who's starting to feel that tug of war internally, but she doesn't yet know what her soul's purpose is, or whatever it might be, but she's feeling like this unrest inside? Any suggestions for how she can really kind of connect with herself to really understand what it is she is actually wanting, to allow new thing, to get in touch with her soul's purpose?
Yeah, I think just be curious because I never thought I would ever leave the financial industry because I was so passionate from early age. Like I always wanted to be a CPA. I loved the banking industry and I had a very good position and I managed the US, the Latin America and Spain and I loved it. But I always thought if I would be something else and I always knew it would be something related to coaching. But that was years ago. And only when I was pregnant and I had kids, I started thinking about sleep. And I said, oh, wow, sleep is like something that I'm passionate about. And so it's coaching. And I started thinking about it. And I'm lucky that my husband is also self-employed and he's on a much bigger scale than me. But I did have someone in my life that I could kind of like brainstorm with. And when I finally told him that I am thinking of leaving the financial industry. And he was so supportive. And he said, why postpone happiness? Just do it. And we just, supported each other. And I think every business owner we always have ideas. So we always need to brainstorm with others. So find someone that you can do it with, but not someone that would kind of like say no to everything that you bring up. You need someone that is supportive. So for me, be curious, listen to your heart, find your mentors, your supporting system. And basically
Yes.
that's it.
Oh, well, wow. Your husband is amazing. I mean, I love this connection and the way you are both supporting each other and your family. It's beautiful. And I also, love the idea of everything you just said, but then also, you never know what's going to come find you, right? Like
Right.
this, because your life changed with children, your dream found you. You weren't necessarily looking for it. It sort of showed up and you're like, you were open to receive it. You were flexible with this, and then you brainstormed on it. So a lot of times, for all of you women out there that maybe feel like you're in the in between, in that stuck area, just sort of have faith. That's actually the first step. You're not stuck. That's part of that. There's always going to be a breakthrough at some point. It might not be on your timing, and you might not even know what it is or what it's going to turn out to be. But just be open to serendipity, even, like allow yourself to plan as much as you can, but then I always like, let go and let God, because there's only so much that you can maybe do on your own, but then there has to be a opening and a receiving and a faith and a trust, whatever that means for you, to allow it to come in and serve. Because you will always, I really do believe, when if there is something that isn't working in your life right now and you're feeling that sadness or that tension or the struggle, whatever, the disappointment, a little bit of maybe helplessness, whatever it is, you have to, I I just really feel this. Sit with that discomfort, sit with it, because it's trying to tell you who you really are and what you really want. And you have to kind of go through a little bit of that discomfort to get to the other side. It's not meant to be, skipping through the park the whole time. The growth comes from, believe it or not, a lot of that discomfort that you can't wait to get out of right now. So just be patient and trust the process, because it's sort of like, maybe it's a terrible analogy, but like when you eat something and you don't feel well, and it's just not going to change until it gets out, right? Your body, you don't feel good. You feel green even, and you are hating that moment. It's not fun, but your body knows to get rid of it so that you can be back to your better self, right? And so you almost have to think of sometimes these, uh, let's just say your own personal traffic jams. Just relax. It'll pass, and it's meant to happen so you get more in touch with what is best for you. So, I think it takes a little while. We always want to get away from the uncomfortable. It's not fun. But I think that there's a lot of lessons to be learned in sitting with it, really asking yourself, it's I think it's your soul's way of showing up for you and having you reevaluate what really matters to you, and then finding a way to, maybe you can't do it all, but you can do little parts of it, right? Like where you can start to include things that really do matter to you until you kind of carve out this perfect, dream life for yourself. So, what's your thoughts on that?
I agree 100%. Also, think about it. You always appreciate the things that never came easy to you the most. And I always kind of like, I'm an overachiever, so I never went for the easy way. And thank God I didn't do it because I just love how my life came out to be.
Wow, I love this. Yes. And you don't always know how it's going to turn out. And then it turns out even better than you could have imagined, right? I mean, that's just beautiful. Okay, so next question. How do you deal with fear or doubt? Especially, I like to kind of zero in on this, you know, when women start their businesses, all of a sudden they really, because they are their business, they are their own brand, they have to start to show up and put forth themselves, their dreams, their mission, their desires to help clients. And that takes a little getting used to, because that often means we're showing up online to complete strangers in a very new world. And that can be uncomfortable at first. How would you recommend that they find that confidence to go forward with that?
So first of all, I think, we all have days that we are motivated and we all have days that we are not so motivated. And it's weird because when I was in banking, I would always go in front of CEOs and other bankers and talk about the financial industry. I never thought I would have to learn about marketing and going live on Instagram and TikTok. And when I started, that's not something I was comfortable with, but I gained all the tools that I needed, and I do it. And sometimes it's good to get out of your comfort zone and you learn new skills, and just embrace it. Just say, today I'm feeling great, tomorrow I might not, and it's okay.
Yes,
Like
yes.
we said, life is fluid. Take it day by day.
Get comfortable with the uncomfortable. That's one of my favorite sayings. I love that. Really it's like, oh, okay. I don't have to fight it. I just have to figure out how to get comfortable with it and have faith to get through it. And it gets easier. The more you do anything, it becomes easier. We know that from our whole growth experience. We know that. I wanted to ask you one of our let me just see. I have two more questions for you. How do you personally define success? Like, what does that mean to you?
I think as long as you're happy, you're successful. So, whatever that means to you. For me, at this season of life, I want to help other parents. I want to raise awareness, but I also want to spend time with my kids because they're so young. And it might look different next year, 2 years from now. But at this moment, I just like that I have the work-life balance. And that's what is success for me nowadays.
Yes, yes, I love that. And my last question is, well, no, there's two more. What would be your absolute number one tip for a woman just about to start a business? Like, I mean, we all know there's a gazillion things that we can be doing, but if you have to choose one thing and one thing only, what would be your first suggestion for her starting her business?
I think YouTube can teach you anything. And that was even my tip before I started my own business. I learned so much from YouTube throughout my life. So that is one tip. Just be patient and reach out to YouTube and search. And then, all of us have strengths and weaknesses. Identify your strengths. And if you have some weaknesses, just delegate, outsource. And I know at the beginning we all try to save money and not spend, but sometimes you can find an affordable solution. And nowadays, thank God, it doesn't have to be where you are, it can be somewhere else in the world, and you can save money with that and just delegate, outsource it so you have more time to invest in what you are good at.
I love that idea because I also felt like, at the beginning of my business, it was for me, it was the overwhelm because there are so many wonderful things you can do for your business, and that's wonderful. But it's almost never ending because there's always going to be something new, some new social media platform, some new software tools, always going to be that way that you have to sort of get to a place of relaxation that you're not going to be able to study everything and do everything, and you can get caught up in overwhelm, and that can be, you want to be really aware of that, where your business is, you're doing your business because it's your dream, and you it's your dream because you feel like it will bring you joy, or it has brought you joy. So you want to be really careful that overwhelm doesn't seep in. And for me, that was a big like red flag when I started to feel that. And then I had to really get clear. And I love the couple things you just said. Be very clear with yourself. You are not going to be great at everything, and that is okay. So choose the things that you really love and enjoy and that you're good at, and either completely get rid of the rest that's non-essential, or find the help, or put it on a back burner and just realize, okay, I will get to that, but I can't do that now. So maybe in 3 months or maybe next year. And, you know, we want to like run after the big mountain and make it all happen. And we do believe in ourselves and we know that we're capable, but sometimes we put so much pressure on ourselves that we start to not enjoy the process. And then you don't want to get to a point where you like just throw in the towel and give up your dream business because you accidentally overwhelmed yourself. And so just give yourself grace that, choose one thing and do that one thing well. And once that is achieved, then add in a little something extra and build slowly, because it's sometimes I think as women business owners, we expect ourselves to just juggle 8 things and do them perfectly at once, because we also we tend to be a little bit perfectionistic, and that's also a little bit of an issue. So, you know, I can just tell you the way you're going to do your business best is being the real authentic you. And the lovely thing about that is what your prospects and clients want. We don't want this carbon perfect thing that we can't relate to. And so that gives us relaxation right there. So I love that you said that. So yeah, delegate, 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 or just, discard if it's not necessary, and just keep it simple and happy and joyful. So that's why you're doing it in the first place. And then also like you'll show up happy to your clients, to your prospects, to your family, to your friends, everybody. If you're like tense and stressed out and overwhelmed, that's going to affect your energy for everybody, and that's not good. So, okay, last question. What is your biggest vision for your business? What do you want this to be over time?
I want to be the sleep guru. It's like
Oh,
reach out to me if you need sleep. But I've been combining my corporate America experience with my sleep coaching, where I give a lot of speaking engagements to employers because I want to educate them that when they have moms coming back to the office after maternity leave, the expectation should be different because now mom is tired and mom needs support. And when you have, as an employer, working mom and you're not supportive, then you start seeing differences between men and women when it comes to performance reviews, promotions, salary gaps. And if employers actually have the support system in place, then we kind of like have more support towards women. And I think that is very important nowadays. Because
I love that.
also nowadays, women becomes moms later on in life. And that's also when careers take off. And then they don't have to sacrifice if they have a supporting employer.
That's really trailblazing goals. I love that because, this is your business and you're helping your clients, and then you are already like focused on corporate America needs to kind of get with the program of the reality of the world. And it is not, uh, it's not black and white. There is gray areas, and they need to be able to be empathetic and sensitive and flexible to this. And we all know that education is the first. Education and awareness is how that change comes. And so you're a trailblazer, and bravo to you. That is a beautiful goal. A well needed education of corporate America to be supportive of families and all that goes into that. So fantastic. You are the sleep guru. I love that. You are already get a t-shirt and just yes,
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so before we sign off, share one more time your business name and your website so people know exactly where to go. And please, women, share this with all of the women you know that want to start families or just about to start families or have young ones, because this is going to be a blessing to everybody in that family. So, okay, go ahead.
So it's My Little Dreamer, and the website is mylittledreamer.coach. And I also offer gift cards, if for baby showers, for the holidays, just get the gift of sleep for anyone that is a new mom, expecting mom. I think
Uh-huh.
that's better than anything you buy that is
Uh,
clothing, electronics. It's just the best gift. I would love to get it.
I would. The gift that keeps on giving, right? That is so fantastic. Okay, so uh I hope you enjoyed this beautiful success story and learned, just how you can relate this to your own journey and just share this. It's a beautiful mission, it's a beautiful business, it's a beautiful success story. Be inspired by it. And as usual, this is Coach Tamara from Wealthy Woman Every Day, inspiring you to please continue on your journey to your dream business, your dream life. um, don't fear the discomfortable moments. It's normal and natural. And thank you so much for being here. It's been an absolute pleasure to share your beautiful work that you're doing in the world.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Okay, so see you next time with another beautiful success story, and keep going for those dreams. Bye for now.